Hello everyone. Today I'm going to argue about the importance of buying local, organically sourced foods from local farmers markets, as opposed to buying food from big box stores such as Walmart. While there are many advantages to buying local, organically raised foods, the main reasons that I'm going to present to you today are the environmental impacts that local food has versus big box food stores such as Walmart. And then I'm going to argue about the health benefits of this. And then we're going to talk about the economic benefits. It actually turns out to be cheaper long term to buy organic foods close to home. And then we're going to talk about simple things that we all care about, simply just the taste of organic food is much more tasteful in many people's opinions. Together, all these things I hope will come together to convince you that buying organic food from local farmers is far superior than going and buying groceries at Walmart. So the first reasons that we're going to talk about are the economic reasons. The USDA says that according to their studies from 2018 so far, most of the food that travels in the U.S. Apparently is 1,500 miles from where it was grown to where it is actually eaten. And that's from the 2018 study, which I guess took aggregate studies from 2016 to 2018, but it was released in 2018. And what this does and shows for us is that there's a huge distance that actually goes from where the food is grown to where it's eaten, and this causes an increase in price. The USDA says that approximately 40% of the final food cost that you actually spend at the store is spent on just shipping the food. Shipping and packaging alone costs 40%. So that means that you could have gotten for 60% of what you had spent at the store if you had just bought it from a local farmer. This also raises concerns for pollution. All the transportation necessary to transport those foods from where they were sourced to where they're being eaten requires more fossil fuels and more pollution in the atmosphere, which is damaging to our environment. The next point about the importance of organic food is that big grocery stores source produce from industrialized farming operations that in many cases do not respect their workers, as they are seen as tools in their money-making operation. Big box stores don't really care a whole lot about the end product of basically you wanting to have good food. They really only care about the bottom dollar and how much money they're going to make on it. So what they do is they'll source this out and they'll pay their workers the dirtiest cheap compensation they can and get away with it. And so they're really not doing a good job on treating their workers well or raising good food. And so in terms of workers' rights, you're really not helping out any of the workers by buying from big box stores. Also, in terms of health, there's so many, because of the long distance that the food has to travel from where it's grown to where it's actually eaten, a lot of times the food is picked 2 or 3 weeks before it's actually ripe, and it's shipped when it's still green. So a lot of the tomatoes you'll buy, when you see them in the store, they're all red, but when they're actually picked and shipped, they're all green and they're not ready at all. And so they haven't gotten all the nutrients that they could have gotten if they had been left on the vine until they're ripe. So then they're artificially, they're picked early and they're shipped in the green state, and then right before they're sold, they actually gas them with special gases that make them ripen artificially, so it makes it look like they're red and they're ripe. But they actually have a lot less nutrients than normal, organic, locally grown vegetables. Also, many studies done by the USDA and local businesses that the USDA works with says that buying locally improves the community life within local communities. So for instance, in Front Royal we have local co-ops that we all come together every 2 weeks and we sell all of our wares, but it actually creates a pretty tight-knit community. We all know each other very well, and it's nice for the clients to know where their food's coming from. They buy eggs, they buy meat, and they can actually come out to the fields and see where their meat's coming from, where their chicken eggs are being laid. And it just makes it's a much more trusting relationship. You know that we treat our animals well, and we want that our organic foods to be trusted by our clients. But these are just a few of the reasons that I think that organic farming and locally sourced foods are far superior than going and buying from a grocery store. I know that you can't always do that. I mean, you're not going to be able to find bananas in the wintertime here in the U.S., and everyone likes bananas and many other things. But there's many other reasons, but I think that overall, I really prefer organic farming. I hope that you do too. Thank you. You guys have a good day. And can you turn around and show you guys? Out here. Yeah. Yeah. You got it. Yeah. All right. Thank you.